Hi everyone, it's Tracy Newman from the Navigators Tarot, where you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and you can also find me on Sleepy Wisdom on YouTube. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find me at my website, which is sleepywisdom.com. And yeah, we'll get into the energies for the masculine this week. Left out in the cold. In the past, that has happened. Yeah. So the masculine. Oh yeah. Okay. Masculine's trying to stay as balanced as possible, while the devil is pretty much having his way with him. We also have the moon. Oh, okay, so I'm getting a lot of illusion as well, like I did in the general energy report. So okay. So there is a lot of merging happening with the divine masculine as well, as he now looks upon his divine feminine as his connection to love, pretty much. Because he's now beginning to see that the illusion of the world that he used to rely on is now no longer able to sustain him, and it would appear that now he has made, through the darkness and through his own fears, he has decided that he needs to make a choice about exactly where he places his foundation and his loyalty. Once upon a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the devil here, I just need to clarify what the devil here is. The masculine has always been under the influence of under the influence of the old world order and the devil's structure that has continually plagued him. So it would appear that the devil once again is going through his... So the masculine is now deciding to make a choice. He recognizes his only way to source, to the light, is through his divine feminine. Once upon a time, the devil and the temptations of the devil of the 3D matrix world had led him into a totally illusionary world of ego, debauchery, lust, however it comes across, addictions. And the devil has wrung his heart to the absolute core. He's also recognizing the devil, the darkness in the temptation of past relationships that have left its mark on him as well. Because I'm getting an image here of the devil literally squeezing the life and the lifeblood out of the masculine heart. And it would appear now that the devil is still trying to take a hold through basically trying to squeeze out the very, very last vestiges of fear and blood that it can from the heart center of the masculine. Getting him to dwell on past hurts and any sort of past trauma that has kept him bound. But there is really good news for the masculine, because he has been given a choice to remain in the illusionary world of the distorted masculine and distorted view of the world through the devil's eyes, or through the eyes of the devil, basically. When I talk about the devil, I talk only metaphorically. You can actually place anything that reminds you of that devil structure in any way, shape or form, whether you find it in the form of ego or darkness or trauma, past trauma, fear, however you see the devil and how it has manifested in your life to keep you back and bound. But yes, so the masculine now actually realizes that his only way out of this distorted masculine view that he has of himself and the world and others, his only way to that source, that light, those light codes, is through his feminine. Now, whether that comes in the form of a projected feminine or whether he has merged within his own feminine from within, it's neither here nor there, because they are indicative of the change that he wishes to make for himself, and he has actually made the choice. A lot of the masculines have made the choice to move into light and love through accessing his divine feminine energy. And that is not true. He's recognizing too that a lot of the distorted feminine that he has had in his past, in the form of relationship with distorted feminine energy, through trauma bonding or through ego, lust programs. So he's been called to judgment, but of course it is the masculine that calls his own judgment, so that he can move through these darker aspects of self and of the world structure that he has become a part of, move out of that into these new ways of being and accessing the heart center. And of course the way he is doing that is by acknowledging the fear that has kept him bound and moving through that into a greater aspect of himself, which he is finding, of course, once again, as I said, through the either the projected divine feminine or his own divine feminine from within. And that has actually led him to go through, to go very, very deeply into the darkness that has kept him bound through emotion and fear, or fear of even showing emotion in some cases. But now he's being asked to go down very, very deeply and find the core of his darkness so that he can swim through it into the light, pretty much. And the only way to do that, of course, to get to the source for the masculine, is through his divine feminine. He's making plans, and this is also, look at that, the 10 of Pentacles, which is absolute bliss, harmony and love, and happy families. He still has conflict within himself, of course, as he goes through his dark night of the soul, which for the masculine at the moment it's imperative that he does go through this dark night of the soul so that he can actually understand exactly what has been the driving force of the trauma bonds he holds with others and with himself and with his own heart structure, and how he can actually now move out of that and move into a more divine presence as he begins to move away from the illusion of the dark masculine and the control matrix that he has become a part of. He's now moving away from that as he accesses his heart center and his own divine feminine. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles as well, which is about becoming independent on a financial level, on a physical level. And then we also have the King of Pentacles, which is also moving into that more practical side of the feminine, of the masculine, sorry, that is very grounded into the earth plane. But of course, at the moment we are going through a massive amount of change on the earth plane, so as within, so without. And now, of course, over the last few years, it is the divine feminine that has been moving out, you know, moving through the distortions into complete, absolutely unconditional love and light, which we are all naturally a part of, which we are anyway. Our natural source is love. And now the masculine is moving away from those distortions as well. The masculine energies are moving away from those distortions and moving into a greater sense of self and wonderment and empowerment through accessing his own divine feminine and his heart center. And of course, the way to source for the divine masculine is through accessing his own divine feminine, which he has not, who he has ignored for quite some time. I hope that makes sense. These are energies, of course. But there are those who hold the greater amount of masculine energies, and there are those who hold the greater amount of feminine energies, and it's about becoming balanced within. And so if you deny one and leave one in the cold, then it causes an imbalance, which then, of course, ego, trauma, past hurts, just a non-recognition of who you really are will lead to imbalance of those energies, because we are both masculine and feminine, and in divine presence, when we are completely balanced in those energies, in divine presence, then fear is removed and unconditional love then becomes all that we are, because that's all we are anyway. Everything else is an illusion of control, which we have. Yeah, so it's just an illusion that we bought into. Okay, so Queen of Swords and Ace of Swords. So yes, this is about truth, courage, fortitude, and truth, absolute truth. The Queen of Swords is that feminine that is very intelligent. She takes no prisoners. She is very precise. She knows exactly who she is, and she will cut through any sort of bullshit at all. And this, of course, is the sword of truth and the beginning of truth. Okay. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. One more card for the masculine. And then I better get off to my job. One more card for the masculine, the King of Swords and strength. So that is coming into your own masculine truth of who you really are, and also looking to find the strength from within to move forward without fear and without being trapped, without feeling trapped. I sometimes think that the masculine goes through a lot of sleepless nights, especially at this point in time. For the masculine at the moment, it does appear to be a little difficult, and it is because there is so much change that is happening from within. And the masculine must, as he begins to release all these old fears and access his heart center, there's a lot of change that comes from within, and it is quite an uncomfortable ride, and it is sometimes a quite frightening ride too. But, you know, if you have any trouble at all, I always call in the three, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and Jesus Christ. They are my three that I go to. I go straight to the top. I don't muck around with anything else. But of course, it is up to you exactly how you move through this. But take some time out to rest and look at that. The feminine got that one as well. We are moving into a greater source of love for all that is, for within us, and it's coming from within. That new love that we are beginning to feel for ourselves and others is coming from within for all of us. And we just have to trust in that and have faith. Okay, and you will have victory over it. And that's the thing. This is the victory over the ego, over the devil, over the darkness, and over the distortions that have plagued the masculine and the feminine for millennia. But we are now moving out of those distortions into the truth. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And yeah, amazing stuff. Oh, the masculines. So yeah, if you haven't already, just hit like and subscribe. And also I am doing lives, which I will be starting at 8 p.m. tomorrow night on Instagram at The Navigators Tarot. Okay, so I shall see you on. Bye for now.